under the economy. In the previous classes also we have learned about the ideas of development and the production and employment. These lessons are come under the economy. So economic chapters. So this is also the Rampur, a village economy, is also one of the lessons come under the economics. So through this lesson we have learned how the village economy is there in India. So Rampur, a village economy, within the village, how the activities are there, how the people are doing different economic activities, what are the production activities are there in village economy. These all things we have learned by this lesson. So Rampur, a village economy. So the first topic, the story of the Rampur. About the Rampur, the small, they will ask right about the story of the Rampur like that. So Rampur is a village, small village, west side of the Uttar Pradesh, follows Haryana and Punjab. Rampur has fertile soil and prosperous village. So the production activity is the agriculture. There are different production activities we have found in the villages. Different types of production activities we have found in the villages. The farming or agriculture is the important production activity, especially in the villages. We have found more farming practice in the villages. That's why what is the main production activity in villages means the farming or agriculture is the main production activity in the villages. So non-farming, non-agriculture activities also found in villages. Non-farming activities, those are transport, shopkeepers, next small manufacturing units. Small manufacturing produce like metal makers, potters, basket weavers, pickles, pickle makers, so BD industries, small industries. Like that industries we have found, small industries, matchbox industry. The small industries we have found in the villages, those are come under the non-farming activities. Okay, milk vendor is also important non-farming activity in the village. So like in the village, within the village there is a two production activities are there. One is the agriculture production activity, this is the main activity. Second one is the non-farm activities. So that is the story of the Rampur village. Next, farming in Rampur. How is the farming, the cultivation, agriculture in Rampur? So now we are learning. So in this place, so farming in Rampur, we have to learn the where the Rampur village is located again. So Rampur is a small prosperous village. It is located west side of Uttar Pradesh, follows Punjab and Haryana, follows the Punjab and Haryana. So it is a prosperous village. It have fertile lands, means good soil lands, good fertile soil we have found here, and irrigation facilities, good irrigation facilities are found in the village. It is advantageous to grow many crops in Rampur village. At the same time, Rampur village is having good road networks, means the Rampur village is well connected to other places. There are big city is one of the big cities, Raiganj is there near to Rampur. So Raiganj is 3 kilometers away from the Rampur village. So another small town is there, that is Jahangirabad. Jahangirabad is 12 kilometers away from Rampur. So they grow many crops like jawar, bajra, wheat. They sold it to the market yards in Raiganj. and they are also cultivated the sugarcane. Sugarcane was by the sugarcane they made the jaggery. Jaggery was sold into the Jahangirabad, nearest town. Like that, their activities, economic activities. There's so many the good road network. Means roads are well wider connected to other places, from Rampur to Raiganj, from Rampur to Jahangirabad and other places. That's why the transport is good. Many different variety of transport facilities are available in Rampur, like Tongis. Tongis means horse carts. Bogies means buffalo carts are called as the bogies. Next, buffalo carts, the bullock carts. So next, tractors, vans, minivan. So auto trolleys, motor bikes, like that. So many different variety of transport facilities are available. Traditional transport as well as the modern trucks are available from Rampur to other places. So it is the benefit and advantage to the Rampur people. They are exported their produces to other places and they earn the money. So this is about the farming, and also what is the main activity means farming is the main activity in the Rampur. Most of the people who are dependent, means majority of the 80%, more than 80% of the people in Rampur, they were dependent on agriculture. So this is agriculture based village. Only 25% of the people who are dependent on non-farming activities in Rampur. That is about the farming in Rampur. You have to write all these points. Okay children, next we are going to another topic, that is land and natural resources in Rampur. Land and natural resources of Rampur. So land is the important factor of production. So without land we can't able to produce the agriculture production. So land is the important factor of production. That's why in Rampur we have found the good fertile lands. That's why they are taking 3 crops in a year. 3 crops in a year. So since 1921 they have been no expansion of agriculture lands. Why? Because the already within the 1921, since 1921 there have been no scope to expansion of agriculture lands. It means already the forest, whatever the wastelands are there, and forest lands and barren lands are already changes into agriculture lands in Rampur. That's why there is no further scope to increase agriculture lands in Rampur. So the lands, cultivated lands in Rampur were fixed lands. There is no further scope to expansion. So under these circumstances, the Rampur village people were grown many different variety of crops during the Kharif season, means rainy season. So they can grow jowar and bajra. So jowar and bajra they used for food as well as the fodder, rearing animals. And then they cultivate the sugarcane for a year. A crop they will take, sugarcane crop they will take in a year. And also potato they can grow October to December. Like that they can grow many variety of crops. So mostly the farmers have 2 main crops. Additional another 3rd crop also they can grow in Rampur region. Okay, so the Rabi is the one of the main crop that is grown in Rabi season. So that is the wheat. Wheat they can grow during the Rabi season. Wheat is the one of the main crop they can grow during the Rabi season. So that is grow from October to March. So that the harvesting time and the showing time. Showing time is the October and November. So harvesting time March and April. So like that they can grow the wheat. Wheat is the one of the main crop. So potato is the 3rd crop. There is multiple cropping system is practiced in Rampur. What is the multiple crops? Means the farmers can grow more than one crop in a more than one crop in a same piece of land in a year is called as the multiple cropping. Multiple cropping means the farmers can grow the more than one crop, grow more than one crop in a same piece of land in a year is called as the multiple cropping. So multiple cropping is practicing in Rampur village. That is benefit for them. So the fertile lands, they can restore the fertility in the soil by the multiple cropping system. So they can grow more than one crop, more than one crop within a same land in a year is called as multiple cropping. So that is practiced in Rampur village. This is benefit for them. So they keep the fertility of the land in Rampur by the multiple cropping system. So there are two main crops and one is the additional crop they can grow, that is potato. So this is the prosperous village. Agriculture is the main activity. So electricity, before in 1970s, the total cultivated land in Rampur is 264 hectares. 264 hectares of land. Total land of Rampur come under the irrigation facilities. They have the irrigation facilities. So before electricity, how they have to do the agriculture means they used Persian wheel, and they produce water. They give the water to the crops and they grow the crops. Okay, they give the water and grow the crops. Persian wheels. So before electricity, after the electricity came early to Rampur village. Why? Because this is the northern village. You do know in India this is northern village. So the electricity facilities was early. They can get the electricity facilities in Rampur village. After the electricity facilities, they used the bore wells. By the motors, they extract the underground water and they did the crop. They can grow 3 crops per year. So like that the agriculture practice was done in Rampur. Agriculture practice was done in Rampur. So there are 264 hectares were irrigated in Rampur, but we have compared to other villages. Means in India so many regions are there. All regions are not similar. Rampur is a prosperous village, but we have compared to other villages. Other villages are not like Rampur village. So many villages are there. Those are not getting the irrigation facilities. They come under the drought. So some regions are the prosperous regions like Indo-Gangetic Plains region and East Coastal Plains. Some East Coastal Plain Delta regions are having good irrigation facilities. So they can grow the crops. Advantages to grow many crops in these regions like Indo-Gangetic Plain and East Coastal Plains Delta regions. So remaining places like plateau regions like Malwa Plateau and desert in Rajasthan Thar desert region. So Deccan Plateau regions are not having that much of water. There is no good irrigation facilities. They can grow high land crops. So the total cultivation, total agricultural lands in India, only 40% of the lands are having irrigation facilities. Remaining 60% of the lands are dependent on rains only. So can you understand? This is very important point. So among the agriculture lands in India, only 40% of the agriculture lands are having irrigation facilities. Remaining lands are 60% of the lands are dependent on the rains. Okay. So this is about the conditions of village conditions of land and natural resources of India. So like production is very high, intensive use of the resources like water, underground water, surface water, as well as the lands, fertile lands were used, intensive use of these natural resources like fertile lands and water, underground water. We can produce a large quantity of production, but at the same time fertilizers and other things, so high yield variety of seeds we are using and intensive use using, and we are producing large quantity of production of crops, but at the same time we are reducing the fertility of the lands, declining. When we are use the high quantity of underground water, we are using high quantity of fertile lands, that is the results are negative afterwards. So why? Because we declining the fertility of the soil, we are losing fertility of the soil, pollution of air, and also soil erosion was taking place. So these all are negative things, and also we are using extensive underground water. If we are extracted the large quantity of underground water, that is cause for declining of underground tables, underground water levels, and quality of the underground water also declining by the use of extensive use of underground water. So these are the some disadvantages you have to write. So if we are extensively used the natural resources is caused for the damage of the environment, damage of the natural resources. Okay children, thank you.